So I'm sitting at home, I'm enjoying my evening, and I get a phone call from Chris, and he's like, bro, you better come meet me at the In-N-Out parking lot because the game deal's about to go down. And I'm like, what kind of game deal are you talking about? Bring the camera, it's on. So here I am, I got the camera, and so let's see what's on.
I opened my holes. It's my cousin Billy, the dude with the camera.
How we doing?
I found a guy that had a boxed NES. He had it posted for $175, which I'm not paying $175 for it. So I told him, I said, you know what? I'll give you $125 for it. Dude, that's a clean box, dude.
Yeah.
Beautiful, minty.
So Chris apparently has made a deal. What are you? Deal for a complete inbox or almost complete inbox NES system. I was so adorable. I remember my first complete NES system when I started collecting. It's a little late on him, but you know what? At least he's getting one, right?
Yeah, it's clean.
I love it. And I've got all the paperwork at the house from that Nintendo, the Power Pad. So it's like I've got a CIB freaking action set finally. I'm so happy about this.
So this guy's digging this stuff out. I'm like, well, what'd you pay for the boxed NES? And he was like, $125. And I'm like, oh God, why? Dude, that's overpaying a little bit, don't you think? You can get one for less than $100.
But wait, there's more. It wasn't just the boxed NES. Zelda, Mario 2, and Mario 3.
So he starts bringing out some of these games that come with this NES, and actually he's got some classics in there. He's got the Mario games. He's got Zelda.
Yeah, these will all be doubles except for this. This Zelda card's the only one that I don't have. I think the Zelda franchise is great, and I understand why it's got such a big following. They're great games. I've played a lot of them. I just never had, a huge...
Doing. Another one in here is Gyromite. I remember playing Gyromite once as a kid because my friends have it. One of those novelty games that I never really got into, and really it's designed to go with Rob, but you can play it with your other controller, but it's really designed to go with Rob.
That's a really good game.
Do you have any interest in any other consoles?
I want a box Super Nintendo.
Okay.
That's the other one I'm looking for. I've got all
the ones inside here with the sleeve.
Right. Yeah. Awesome.
And it's all clean. There's no broken padding or whatnot.
Yeah, awesome. The gold cart Zelda is the only one that will go in the collection of mine because that's the only one I need. Of course, I'll keep the Super Mario Brothers and the Duck Hunt with the NES because that's the one that actually came with that Nintendo. It was actually his as a kid. He's sitting there selling his childhood NES to me for $125. I was like, you're messing up.
So after learning that he's getting a little lot of games that goes with this NES, the $125 actually becomes a pretty decent deal. Not a screaming deal, not a, hey, I just scored the most amazing deal of all time sort of deal, but a good deal. A deal. Deal. I know you're gonna say,
I got a whole box of stuff in here. I'm trying to.
Well, let me see what else you got.
Whoa! You got stuff in there? More stuff?
Maybe.
So apparently this guy's got more stuff.
So I got it's probably the best one out of the lot. But
So is this all your stuff from your kit? You're selling your? Oh, you're gonna regret this in about.
So I got
5 years.
Got that one. Got the classic Tetris, Kirby, Wario Land, Dr. Mario, Super Mario Land.
So I don't have hardly any Game Boy stuff at all.
It's the lime green one's the nice one. That's
Not bad. What do you ask me on that?
I think 60. And it's clean.
Yeah, that's not bad. I don't have any more. Hold on to it. Is that all you got? See, I've got a PS1. You've got a Wii.
PS1,
Just came
PS3.
across. That's a really good game.
So I look into the box and don't find anything I need.
Dude, I appreciate
Yeah, no worries.
my first box retro console, dude. I'm stoked. I appreciate it.
In all honesty, I do love watching Chris pick up things and collect because it's almost like you could see childlike excitement in him. He really does get super excited about things. And he's getting excited right now because this NES box does not come with the paperwork, so it's not complete. However, on some previous lot that he had picked up a week prior or so, it had a power pad and just so happened to have the paperwork for an NES system. No NES system, but the paperwork for it. So he has it at home, and now he's all going bonkers because now he does have a complete NES boxed system. So I feel like I've said that way too many times.
I've even got the Nintendo Zapper manual.
Look at that. Somebody didn't have a friend to play with.
That's a brand new controller.
Someone didn't have a friend to play with. Look at that.
No.
Look at that. It was never taken out of the plastic. That's funny.
That's crazy.
But look, you can tell the difference because look how
Yeah.
clean that is and look how dirty that one is.
I feel bad for exposing this one to UV.
See, look at how much cleaner that one is.
Yeah. Dang, a brand new freaking... I love box stuff. I don't know. There's just something about box stuff being in your hand, looking at boxes, and I never thought that I would... Did you just fart?
Yeah.
The door's shut. There's no ventilation in here, you fuck. I don't know. I want to collect box things because I'm glad you think this is very funny. I want to... Dude, open the door. Gross. I like it. 125 bucks. I don't think that's a bad deal. You know, like I said, I'm gonna sell the doubles. That smelled like ketchup and a bag of potato chips when you opened it. That was so still. For me, a boxed NES takes me back to Christmas as a kid, and you know, a boxed Super Nintendo takes me back to Christmas as a kid, and that's really the reason why I want a box console so bad. It's because those, you don't really so much remember the games that you got on Christmas morning, like you do, but not as much. But you remember the consoles that you got on certain years. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, you know, Christmas of, you know, 90 whatever, we got that Super Nintendo, and you know, freaking, oh, I got a 64 that year, or I got a PlayStation. Like, everybody has those memories. So for me, that's why I want boxed consoles. It's just like, not like I'm trying to go through like getting everything that I own in boxes with manuals. I just want certain things boxed.
There are some things I'll never get rid of, and the NES box I will never get rid of because it defines gaming for me. I had gamed before the NES, but it wasn't until the NES came along and just opening that box that my grandfather got me that I was like, man, I will be a gamer forever, and that's held true to this point.
There was never enough games to go around. It was always begging for Turtles or Chippendale Rescue Rangers, or it was always, we wanted more games because we played the shit out of this. I actually like you know, reading the manuals and stuff from back in the day. It just gives, everybody's got that certain nostalgia for it, and there's something about coming into your game room and seeing like a box Nintendos. You're just like, it's complete, everything's in there. Everything's in there.
Thank you, grandfather, for that NES system and the memories of looking at that box associated with that. Every time I look at that box, I'm reminded of those times, and I think that's why a lot of us like boxes. And you know, the games are the games, and the games will always be fun. But there's just something about boxes, and if you have the room for them and you have the inkling to collect them, they're really super cool. And you know, you may not have time to pop in Mario Brothers or whatever, or you know, whatever game you want to play at any given moment. But when you're walking by on the shelf, you look up at that box of whatever system that you know you love, and you're like, that's some good memories right there. And that's why I like boxes.
Other than the tape, you know, but whatever. I can live with that shit. Freaking awesome. 125 bucks. I think I got a win on that.
In the In-N-Out parking lot, deals were made, games were bought, and I think everybody left happy. Yeah.
What's wrong with these guys?
I went and bought a Nintendo Power Pad for $20. It was supposed to be 15, and then the lady was like, "Oh, I'm selling 2 Atari, games with this, and Pac-Man's worth more." I thought I didn't list it in there. I want $5 more. I was like, literally, Pac-Man is the most inexpensive thing in the 3 things that I'm buying from you, but whatever, because the Power Pad box Power Pad with the manual by itself is worth way more than what she was asking on it. So $20, give me the 2 Atari games and the Power Pad. So I get home, shake out the Power Pad out of the box, and all this paperwork comes falling out. Lo and behold, the NES action set paperwork, every bit of the paperwork was Grandpa had put it in the bag and stuffed it in the Power Pad box, and it was all there. So even though the guy with the NES action set that I bought off of him that didn't have the paperwork, I just so happened a couple days before got the paperwork before I got the console. So now I've got the paperwork and the console. It's just funny how that worked out. So complete inbox with manuals. Got the Zapper manual. I've got the deck control manual. I've even got the subscription for Nintendo Power and Ultra Games. All that paperwork was in there. Bam. Just perfect. So, complete NES action set. What are you zooming in on,